So I'm going to explain this as in-depth as I possibly can, because I'm getting a lot of comments like this. Oh, I'm a guy and I wear women's clothing, so technically I'm a cross-dresser and it's not a fetish. Or I Googled the word cross-dresser and all it is wearing clothes of the opposite gender. Okay, so there's a Merriam-Webster definition for every single word, and sometimes there are also other cultural meanings of a word that y'all might not be aware of. So that's the first thing. Let's take that and set it aside. Especially if you are a queer person, a queer man walking around in queer spaces, interacting with trans women, and calling yourself a cross-dresser, what 9 out of 10 of us think you are is a John. Because when we hear the word cross-dresser, what it usually means is a John, a man who pays trans sex workers to dress him up in lingerie and pleasers and fishnets and shitty wigs, and usually to dominate them, okay? Because if I'm not a sex worker, I know many sex workers. I'm friends with many sex workers. So even if I'm not in the game, I know girls who are, and I know about cross-dressers. And that is what they call themselves on Tinder and on Sniffies and on Grindr, and they abbreviate it to CD. And those are the only people who you see regularly walking around labeling themselves specifically as cross-dressers. There are lots of other kinds of men who wear women's clothing, and there are lots of other words that certain people choose to describe themselves as such. There's also femboys. I don't like that term either. But it's really not my business. But I'm telling you, if you are in spaces with trans women and you are calling yourself a cross-dresser, that word has a cultural connotation to us. And that is what it means, okay? That is the best that I can do for all of you.